All right, it started. Rico, say something.
And welcome to the stream.
Welcome
This is
everybody. Welcome to stream. We're not streaming.
the podcast.
Well, hey, welcome to the RNG podcast, everyone. The Diz is a bitch podcast, where we talk about how
Yeah.
much Diz is a bitch, and he's late. He's late. Always late. Typical black man. Right, Rico.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be half early because he's half black, right? You know, he'd come on time a little bit, but nah, he's late, man. Uh,
Yeah, like a bitch.
I think teens got our first topic of the day, right?
Topic of the day. This is a weekly podcast.
Oh, topic of the week. So we're still getting used to the routine.
Oh yeah, whatever. But basically, Rico. Oh, now this is topic is about you. Listen, it was gonna be about you and Diz, but Diz isn't here because he's a bitch. So Rico, what games have you been playing? Recent?
Um, I've been playing the Yakuza Ishin, like the samurai Yakuza game. Trying to beat that. What?
Oh, my bad. What's you playing? Okay, Yakuza.
Yeah,
Okay, Yakuza.
yeah. Of course, we've been playing Power World,
Oh, yeah.
playing a little bit of Relink. Although I haven't really gotten into it. I've been playing Lies of P as well. I've been really enjoying
Oh,
that one.
yeah. Yeah. I need to download that shit again.
Dark Souls game. What have you been playing?
Uh, I've been playing some Persona 3 Reload. You know, the best Persona games to ever exist. Um,
Okay.
I got into Street Fighter again. Tried out the new character that released. He's too hard, so I'm gonna delete the game again. Um,
As one does.
I've been playing some Grand Blue Rising. That game is uh too hard, so I'm gonna delete that game because it pisses me off. Uh, let's have been playing. I've been trying to play. I've been trying to finish Final Fantasy 16, but the game is on some bullshit, and the pacing is kind of slow at the beginning. So yeah, fuck that game. Uh,
Okay.
what else I want to play? That's it.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good, man. Oh yeah, I also been playing a little bit of Sekiro.
Oh,
Trying to finish up my
yeah.
backlog of games before I start moving on to new stuff.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
yeah, pretty good list, pretty good roster so
So
far.
Rico, have you been playing any Nintendo games lately?
Um, I actually booted up Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom a little bit.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I didn't do it on the Nintendo Switch either.
wait, what?
Yeah, like, of course, we legally acquire the games and dump them to device
We?
of our choosing, right? Yeah, well, I do, right? I don't know if you do, but yeah, legal
The fuck?
emulation. But with our current topic for the day, that might be coming into question whether or not
Rico,
that's
I'm not gonna lie, you're talking like an AI.
what. What do you mean I'm talking like an AI? I'm trying to do like a news anchor kind of like thing, like this our topic for the day is, I'm trying to
Like,
be
you just gotta like let
professional.
it roll, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta let it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just
Okay.
gotta let it like talk like, never mind. But uh, really,
All right.
our main topic is the Yuzu and how Nintendo. You know what? You just explain it since you're.
Okay. Well, like Nintendo's legal ninjas, right? They're just coming in and they're like, yeah, we know emulation is legal, but we want it to not be legal anymore, and we're gonna sue the people who made the Yuzu. Um, And so we were going over like whether or not Nintendo's in the right, Yuzu's in the right, and what's the whole thing. Now, as of when the story first broke, uh, Yuzu kind of Nintendo had their legal statement, but the situation has changed. I don't know if you knew this, team,
Uh-huh.
but Yuzu actually has applied to the legal like document Nintendo sent, and they're actually going to come and like actually going to fight them. So
Oh,
yeah, they agreed to meet in court, and they're actually going to have a case.
oh, that's gonna be interesting. That's
Yeah.
that,
Um,
that need to be like on the
I
news
was
or something.
looking at Yuzu is like one of the only emulators that actually has the money to probably take Nintendo on because I don't think Ryujinx and other ones have like a Patreon where they take donations. I think it's just like a lot of the other emulators they just work on it in their free time and they just post it on like GitHub or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Yuzu is taking donations, so they actually can afford to probably fight Nintendo at least for a little bit. I don't know. Usually with those cases, like they try to like drag those out. But what do you think? Whose side are you on, Teen? You think Nintendo is right and trying to
Okay.
like
Yeah. So me and Rico were getting into a argument. Not really argument. I wouldn't even call it argument, but
a passionate debate, right?
yeah, a debate on whether Nintendo is in the right or not. And me personally, I think Nintendo is 100% justified in doing this because I mean emulation might be legal, but the process of getting the games, what most people are doing and the process of getting the games are not. You know what I'm
And
saying?
I would argue that like yes, while a lot of people are illegitimately getting copies of the games, not everybody is doing that. There is still a demographic of people who are doing it legit, and to take that away from them is not necessarily the right. And also, it's a bit more of just being able to emulate. It's also preserving these games because, as we've seen in like the past with Nintendo, is they do not support their uh, their services long term. Like I think last year, the Nintendo eShop for like the Wii U and the DS shut down. Now,
Mm-hmm.
granted, not a lot of people were probably using those shops, but I'm sure there's still like some people who are still doing that, and that's a bunch of games now that are no longer playable unless you engage in piracy because the shop has been deleted, removed from the platform. And I think companies like Yuzu are making it possible so that when the Switch 2 or whatever Nintendo decides to make next is out, Nintendo, I really doubt they're going to continue to support Switch after they've moved on from it. And once that happens, people are going to rely on services like Yuzu in order to continue to play these games. And that's my argument on the whole thing. I think even though a lot of people are pirating, Nintendo they're clearly making profit still on these titles, and it greatly dwarfs their like the loss they've gotten of piracy greatly dwarfs their profits, as a lot of these pirate like these people pirating the game probably weren't going to pay for it to begin with.
Now,
Okay, what's your rebuttal?
see, with okay, with the argument of preserving games, I do agree that Nintendo sucks at trying to preserve their games. Um, but uh, what was it? But the thing with that is that I don't think preserving the games was ever really an issue when it came to like when it came to when people like obviously people pirated for preserving the games, but I don't think it was an issue with Nintendo. I like you have all these emulators and honestly like 99% of the time if Nintendo was taking any legal action against anything being pirated, it's if the game that's being pirated is relevant, right? So like Tears of like the only reason they went against Yuzu is because Tears of the Kingdom was making a million like not making but had a million copies pirated, and so
What where's the evidence of that? Like
didn't
that's
they
just
say
a
it?
claim on like I mean Nintendo said it, but like how would you track people pirating copies? A lot of people when they engage in piracy, they do it anonymously using like, different softwares, you know. So like that's just a estimate that Nintendo is assuming based off of I guess stuff that they've looked at like Yuzu's Patreon subscribers. They're alleging that some of those users who subscribe to their Patreon to get like early access to the new updates for Yuzu, some of them possibly um, engaged in piracy, right? Now, I will give them, Nintendo some credit. The way they have designed the Switch is technically making emulation illegal because there is a clause in the law saying that it is illegal to intentionally bypass an encryption that was designed to prevent infringement, right? And Nintendo's games are encrypted. Like if you pirate a game off of a Nintendo Switch device, that game file has encryption built into it. And so what Yuzu does is it decrypts the game as you're playing it. So that's one thing. And the owner of Yuzu has admitted that he knows people use their services for piracy, but I would
Mm.
say that just because Nintendo is having this issue here where they're dealing with users pirating their game, like they're alleging that a million users have pirated it. Why go after the people developing the emulation software and instead go after the individuals hosting the websites that host these pirated copies? Like for Tears of the Kingdom to have leaked online, somebody in the chain uh, of distributing the game, right? They clearly um, went against Nintendo to like leak the game out. So like, why not go after that individual for going to doing that? Like, I'd argue that the person who who leaked the game is more at fault than the Yuzu emulation developers. I think Nintendo is just trying to find a culprit to blame because they couldn't find that individual, so they're taking it out on Yuzu to maybe try and get some profit out of them. You know.
Yeah, that's fair, but uh, see that's kind of deviated from my point. But back to my other point, like preservation. Another example of how when Nintendo was wanted to take legal action against emulators was um during there is people were like making a okay so Smash Melee, a really old game. It was on the GameCube. Super Smash Brothers Melee. This is like I say it's like a couple years ago. Um, people were emulating that game, and someone actually found a way to make multiplayer on the Dolphin emulator, not legal, possible. So you were able to like boot up, emulate the game on the Dolphin emulator, and then go to multiplayer and play with other people. And obviously, there was a tournament with that too, and obviously Nintendo wasn't happy about that, so they they took legal action.
Yeah. I mean,
Like the people been pirating and emulating Smash Brothers Melee, but it wasn't until it was like started having tournaments and stuff and shit like that where it was became a big deal to Nintendo.
true. And but what's to say that those individuals didn't buy legit copies and like went through the process of dumping those games. Now, I do understand Nintendo with that. Like, obviously, the tournament, I'm sure money was involved, right? And that is their IP. But, like, at the same time, the games that you can play on Dolphin have long been out of Nintendo's, like, circulation. Like, they're probably not even selling these titles anymore. Like, at what point does you know property like a Nintendo game just become something that you can just use uh, without any royalties, right? Like, I know, for example, Mickey Mouse this year, they're they're now a royalty-free character. Anybody can make derivative works out of like the original version of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
Should games also eventually, once they've not been, you know, in circulation, also just become something that people can just, you know, enjoy or like partake in after, the company has moved on, possibly even the developers who worked on that title have moved on. Because over the years, I'm sure people who've worked on those old games have retired now. Like, at what point does Nintendo just gotta let like their old stuff go? Because I mean, they're still making uh, tons of money off of like their newer properties and stuff.
that's cap.
But
That's no, 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 no. It's really only been older properties. Yeah, yeah. But
I guess, yeah, you could say that. Like, I know a lot of people love the older Nintendo games, so maybe Nintendo has plans to like re-release those games in the future. I know they've done that a couple times, but I think we're both interested to see where this goes, because if Nintendo wins this lawsuit, there there's nothing that would stop like a Sony from targeting, the RPCS3 emulator, or
yeah,
Microsoft going after the Xbox 360 emulator. Like, this would open the door for so many um, lawsuits of like current emulators for other like uh, developers. I'm hoping that Nintendo and Yuzu, either Yuzu wins, or like a scenario that would benefit both parties is like Nintendo and Yuzu like settle out of court, make a deal. Maybe
that's not
they'll
happening.
wait like I'm hoping that like maybe like if Nintendo and Yuzu are able to settle out of court, that they can make some sort of deal where like there's a grace period where they won't, you know release like software that allows certain games to be played. Because I know Yuzu, you couldn't play Tears of the Kingdom on Yuzu when it first came out. Like, when the person leaked it, the game only worked on Ryujinx, which is not who's being sued right now. So like maybe there's a deal where like to save on these profits, right? Maybe they wait like a year or two, or like a few years, to where like Nintendo has moved on from that title, and then they give them like the go ahead, like you can start developing this emulator, or you're working on it again. Maybe that would be the best case scenario for both parties, because Nintendo would still have you know their profit window, right? And then the user developers can still continue to work on their project, and collect donations from like individuals using their services. We'll
Yeah.
see.
See, the problem with that is Nintendo is stingy, so
Yeah,
I don't see
Nintendo's not going
them
to do anything.
having any deal with them. Uh, most likely, I feel like Muse's probably gonna lose. It's because Nintendo's Nintendo. Uh,
I don't know. Like, there's still a chance that Yuzu could win. Like I said, there's been legal precedent. Like, the most famous case would be Bleem versus Sony, where Sony tried to sue this PS2 emulator back in the day, and they actually lost. So if a company as big as Sony could lose even back then, to like you know a smaller studio developing emulation software,
yeah,
there's the legal precedent that Yuzu has because of that case. And I think it's really going to depend. The biggest debate is is that Yuzu and Nintendo are going to have is it legal to de-encrypt a private company's work, right? Like if a company makes an encrypted software, which is what the Nintendo Switch is a company allowed to later de-encrypt that software for the purposes of emulation?
Uh,
But I also think it's kind of weird too that they're waiting now to like do this lawsuit when they're getting ready to release another uh, Switch device. At least that's what the rumors say. So I think that part of the reason they're doing it is because they want to see like what they can get away with when they make the next console, and two, like they want to like maybe set legal precedent so that way even if Yuzu you know gets away or like wins, they can like figure out a way to make emulation almost impossible on their next device, and maybe the court case is like one of their ways of like doing that. Like so like if they make it encrypted in the future or they make better encryption, uh, can they prevent people from emulating it?
well,
Because one of the things in the yeah.
there's no reason for them to make a whole nother emulator for the Switch too, right? I mean, Nintendo's already it's already pretty much confirmed that it's backwards compatible. Um, I
I mean,
doubt.
just because it's backwards compatible doesn't mean that um, you can play games on the Switch too. You know,
What do you mean?
like okay, so like the Xbox Series X or S or whatever it's called, right? That console is backwards compatible with older Xbox games, right? But you don't see any emulators for like the new Xbox console, you know, 'cause it still has new software, it has newer architecture, and there's like encryption now built into it. I know with Sony though, like in their PS5, there have been a couple people who have been able to hack the PS5 because of the backwards compatibility it has with the PS2. Like there's some old code inside of the PS5 that has a vulnerability that they're exploiting to get in there, but I don't think that there the use emulator will work on the Switch too.
So
So I
like,
think Nintendo has learned from like the Switch because you could basically defeat the Switch with a paperclip. You put the paperclip inside the Switch, and then the Switch just like goes into like its boot mode, and then you can like load software onto it and hack it. So like I think Nintendo is going to heavily engineer the Switch 2 to make it very difficult to be
Will they
hacked
make
into
the
like that.
Switch 2 is the real question.
good. Hey guys,
Oh,
Diz is
Diz,
here.
see, this is late as usual.
Yeah.
Well, Diz, we were talking about like Yuzu versus Nintendo. What is your side? Teen here is on the side of Nintendo. I'm
Wait,
Um,
on the side of Yuzu.
can
he's loud.
Nintendo be played on my PC? I don't think so. So
Wait,
Yuzu.
wait. Okay, Rico, you gotta restate that. All right.
All right,
Well, I gotta
so
restate that. See,
Teen
I'm.
Teen thinks that it's yeah, go ahead, Teen.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm on the side of Nintendo on where I think Nintendo is 100% justified. I think Nintendo going after Yuzu is 100% justifiable because it's their shit. Like it's helping people pirate their shit. And obviously, if it's their shit, they have the right to do what they want against someone using their shit. But I do think that and it is ass on Nintendo's part that uh they're not making these things available on PC. But then again, I can't really be mad at him because it's their shit. Like when I hear people talking about that, it it makes me think like people saying, "Oh man, Nintendo's fucking assholes for not making this available for me personally." And it
I mean,
like
it's people wanting the right to play things or use things on their own hardware rather than being forced to buy. Like for me personally, I don't want to buy like a Switch. Like to me, the Switch hardware is so limiting. I would want to like if I'm spending like $200 for a device, I'd want to have more control over it, right? And like it's you know
Yeah, but for the people who
because
are like, for the people who are mad that Nintendo isn't porting these things to PC, it's like they're talking as if Nintendo owes that to them personally in the first place, which isn't the case.
well, I mean, I guess a lot of people, especially like older people who have grown up with Nintendo, feel like they helped kind of make Nintendo what they are. Like they've supported them financially in the past, right? And they're like, well, why not? I don't know. To me, it doesn't make sense on Nintendo, at least from a business standpoint, because that's more money that they could be getting. Like I feel like there's even putting their games on PC wouldn't hurt anything. Like there's
I mean,
gonna
yeah, it
always be
would.
people.
There's gonna be modders, and Nintendo don't like that.
That is true. Nintendo really doesn't like modding. Maybe it's just a brand thing. They don't want mods to ruin their brands. But like
Probably.
Nah, they just hate change.
No, I get it.
Nintendo, I
People
think
don't want like there's hella like people don't want nude mods on like the latest Smash game day one. Like I don't think people.
And
but
if
I mean
and
at the same
if
time,
that's
like if
if
somebody wants
that's
to make that for themselves to like use in a game, I feel like it's also their right to make it. You know, like modding takes an incredible amount of effort to do with these games, especially how advanced they've gotten now. I feel like I don't know. I'm more of a person who thinks a lot of software should be open source for like the greater good of people, right? Like uh, if people want to invest time and effort in like using software and sharing software, that's only going to make you know everybody's lives better. We'll have better software, better security, and everything, right? And deciding to just keep a lot of that innovation and advancements to yourselves and like keep it locked away, it just seems kind of unethical to me, right? Because like these a lot of these companies, I understand like they want to make money, but like there's decades of like software and like these engineers that they have are putting all of their knowledge and effort to these companies just to like for them to like hold it over everybody, right? For financial reasons. And like I can just for me it's like if these people like these engineers that are working at these companies or developers working like other places they could like be more open with it, I think it would make things a lot better, for everybody in general.
Yeah. I,
my
all right, go ahead.
can I say my side of the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I agree with Teen that it's pretty justifiable for Nintendo to be doing this, but as it stands, it's just okay. My opinion. He is right on a number of occasions. It is justifiable for why Nintendo's doing this, and also it's kind of a bit. And the other justifiable thing is that it's helping people, you know, take illegal copies and then putting it onto the software for you to play it. But I
But
still don't think that this is gonna be this is this is gonna be a really bad decision on their part, mostly. And also, I just fucking hate Nintendo. So just let me have this. I hope they fucking lose this case. But
you know,
also, uh,
Yuzu has responded to right? Like they said that they're actually going to take Nintendo on in court. So
all right,
they
then
they're not
I
they're not gonna back out. They're gonna actually go through with the lawsuit with them. So they're gonna fight back.
I hope they fucking win the case. But also, Nintendo needs to learn something about shit like that. There are other people who actually have legal copies that they can put on the PC. Why not why not just ban have it just ban illegal copies then? Actually that sounds fucking impossible. Never mind.
Yeah,
Well,
nobody's gonna
they
do.
could go after these sites that like are hosting the illegal copies, right? That's
Yeah,
There's
I
always gonna be more
the
though.
solution.
There's
but
there's always gonna be
s-
more.
Yeah, but still, it's just super weird and stupid because you can literally port games that you've literally bought onto the PC. But since Nintendo has their head far up their asses, they can't even fucking see that.
You,
Yeah, like, and
AKA,
also
they're
like
afraid of any change whatsoever.
also when it comes to like buying physical media, right? A lot of the games you get from Switch, they're physical cartridges. What's the point of buying like a physical cartridge if you can't do what you want with it? Like once the Switch, eventually the Switch is gonna die. Like the software and the hardware in it is gonna get old, and it's gonna fail at some point. And then you're gonna be stuck
Another,
with these cartridges, like that are gonna be dead weight, right? Like
well,
another,
if you own it,
it's confirmed that you can like even if the Switch like the original Switch dies and you have the cartridges, it's still like they confirmed that it's possible to
well,
put the old cartridges in the new Switch like how it is with the DS.
okay, well, I mean that's a bit better on Nintendo's part. But I
and
still think people should have the right to at least, with their physical media that they're buying, use the physical media that they own, how they wish.
and another thing I'd like to point out mostly for Nintendo is this shit would not be happening if one, you weren't so goddamn exclusive, and second, if your hardware was not so fucking downgraded. There are other consoles and mostly PC that are higher above your fucking specs, and yet you still choose the oldest ones for some odd reason.
That's a good point. Like I know a lot of people who got the Switch or the like the Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom on PC were able to get higher frame rates, and they're even able to like upscale textures and certain assets in the game. So like I don't know, it's kind of weird how Nintendo is going after this when people are able to actually get better quality out of their games doing this, right? That's another thing. Like,
Yeah,
And that
but
is the main fucking reason why we're never getting Prime 4 now. Because of the fucking shitty hardware on the Switch.
well, you gotta remember, man, what's coming out next year, this or potentially this year.
I don't care. If the Switch 2 is actually like the fucking Steam Deck, I will be fucking impressed.
I mean, that's what the
Or
leaks
something
are
like
well,
that.
saying.
I
I don't
mean,
fucking know.
I don't know. It'll be impressive for like a year, and then another company, maybe Valve, maybe another handheld developer will make another handheld, and it's going to be more powerful than the Switch 2. So
Well,
like, I don't know. I still think
how great games. Well, I'm not gonna lie, games run shit on the Switch, but or like have like great graphics and performance was never really what made the Switch popular in the first place, and it's never really what made Nintendo games popular in the first place. It's about how much fun you could have with it, and well, I guess with the Switch it was portability, but I guess more companies are making that type of stuff. But it's basically like it's a kid shit. Like it was made for kids. It'll always be made for kids. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
So Bayonetta's made for kids, and that's on the Switch exclusive.
Bayonetta is not a Switch
Xenoblade's
all
made
exclusive.
for kids, and that's also Switch exclusive.
No, Bayonetta is not a
no.
Switch exclusive. It's on PC.
Well,
The first one is.
all I'm gonna say, like to like wrap this one up, so because I know we gotta probably move on to another topic soon, is like I think Nintendo is making a mistake, and I think over time, because a lot of other companies are also getting handhelds, the unique appeal of Nintendo is going to fade. Like more competitors are coming out and making similar games, like we saw Power World, right? And I think when people have more options, right, eventually the charm that Nintendo has will fade, and the fact that they're not
I
even
don't think
supporting.
so. Because you got to think.
That
Everybody
that
loves
is never gonna
Mario. Yeah,
happen. Trust
everybody
me.
loves Mario. Everybody loves Smash Bros. Everybody look like even
I mean, and
now.
think
Like
about. I mean, think about this. Everybody knows Nintendo. They know Mario. My mom knows Mario, and she calls every console I have a fucking Nintendo.
yeah, I feel like
That's
That
true.
for Nintendo to fall apart because of a bunch of competitors, that is gonna be impossible. That is the literal equivalent to like water. Actually, that's a bad one. Um, I don't fucking know. Point is, that is gonna be impossible. You literally have to be like Jesus or something if you're gonna ever out be able to outmatch fucking Nintendo.
Yeah, and honestly, another point. Honestly, like making the Switch games exclusive to Nintendo is probably the best option on for them because of all these things like all these companies making other handhelds. Like honestly, the games will probably be the only thing Nintendo's got going for them, so they have to keep them exclusive, or else nobody's gonna want to buy a Switch if they're on PC.
But I'm wondering too, like Sony is starting to like open up to like uh, releasing games on PC. Xbox has already basically become third party with like they're releasing games on PC and and on the Xbox. When is Nintendo going to like eventually
Never.
like are the profit margins going to be enough that people are going to buy Nintendo's exclusive hardware just to play their games when all these
Yes,
other companies
definitely. Well,
I guess.
you're talking as if Sony and Xbox porting their games to
I don't
PC is
because
gonna
I feel
like
like
decline the amount
I
of
feel like
hardware.
Nintendo is not as strong as a lot of people think because like people often forget Nintendo almost went bankrupt with the Wii U, right? Like that sold
Well,
very
you gotta
poorly on
no,
Steam.
you gotta realize the Wii U was fucking trash. That's what you gotta realize.
But like, what's to say
I
that
didn't think it
Nintendo?
was that bad.
What's to say Nintendo doesn't make a mistake with the Switch 2? Like, they have some issue with the Switch 2 that like makes it, you know, another Wii
Well,
U
they very well
situation. Like,
could, but I think it's highly unlikely because they already have a formula down. All they need to do, all we're really asking is for it to make it stronger. That's it. They already have a good formula
well,
down for it.
I guess we'll see, how this lawsuit goes and everything. But for me to end it on my like on a final note, like I'm at least glad that we do have other platforms, even though a lot of people like the Switch. At least people have options to like go to PC or Xbox or PlayStation as well.
Xbox, what are you talking
Uh,
about?
Xbox.
Oh,
You got any other topics on the list?
okay. So while Power World is having the biggest decline of players in Steam history, another multiplayer game has came out recently called Helldivers. Have any of you been hearing about that?
My friend has
Yeah,
been playing it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. Okay, so I want to talk about this because it's so I literally have no info on this at all. I don't know what the gameplay is. I never seen anyone watch it. The only thing I remember is it being on a PlayStation state of play, and I remember watching people react to it, and they were like, "Wow, this looks meta as fuck." But it comes out, it's like I looked on Steam charts. It's like the third most played game on Steam. So I'm like, what the hell? I thought people weren't fucking with this game. It came out. It's popular as hell. What's going on with that?
Uh, I don't know. I'm not into to live service kind of games, so
That's a
I
live
kind
service
of
game.
yeah. It's. I mean, it's got microtransactions. Most of them are cosmetic, which is a lot better than some other
That
games.
I
But
literally I heard from the friend I was talking about that played the game. It has the only good battle pass system where you again you have the option to like freaking buy it out the battle pass, but here's the best part: you can actually not get it and just grind normally. He said it will take like a week for you to fully max out the battle pass
Isn't that every battle
if you
pass though?
dedicate yourself.
Isn't that just
Yes,
every?
but they are really more stingy with it.
No, no,
Okay,
no.
okay, okay, okay. Another thing I'm talking about mostly like the upgraded battle pass or the whatever it is, where where you spend a bunch of bucks or so to add to get the stuff on the bottom things that were locked because you didn't spend money. They don't have that. Also,
So it's just a free battle
I
pass.
yes, that you can choose to spend money on if you want.
Uh, yeah, that's also one thing with Street Fighter. I think Street Fighter has the best battle pass because
I
in the
Do not think so.
what do you mean? Okay, in the Street Fighter Battle Pass, you get these little tickets that allow you to play any DLC character you want for an hour, and one it's super easy to level it up. All you do is play the game, obviously. Um,
Then again, I haven't fucking played Street Fighter in like months, so your word is probably more justifiable than mine.
yeah. So when upgrading the Battle Pass, you get these little tickets. You can get up to 10 of them, and they let you play a certain DLC character of your choosing, for an hour. So like Ed came out, I didn't I didn't buy him, but I played like 3 hours of him because I spent like three of my tickets, so I got to play like Ed for free for 3 hours, and if I want, I could spend a whole another 7 hours with him, trying him out. Uh, but I don't really like him, so I'm just gonna wait for Akuma. And yeah,
I,
Okay.
I will get back to
Oh
playing
yeah.
Street Fighter when the Kuma releases.
So Teen, you were saying something about like you were gonna like get me and Diz on here for something. Like, was it about that clip you made of us, or what's the deal with that? You trying to get us canceled?
wait, what did I say?
Again.
Yeah, you trying to get us canceled, Teen,
I don't know
or
what you're
something?
talking about. What did I say? I said I was gonna get you on here for something.
Yeah, like you. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But yeah, Street Fighter has the best battle pass. Um, this is something I've been thinking about. Uh, do you think that battle passes are necessarily bad? Because I don't think they're necessarily bad.
I don't think so either. It's just how they've been using it is the problem, mostly.
I mean,
Yeah,
I do, but like majority of the games I play are single player and don't require internet. So like for me, if it requires internet and it's a service that they're trying to sell you, I'm not interested. I don't really like battle pass stuff. I don't like subscriptions. I just want to buy the thing and like just use the thing. I'm old school like that.
oh yeah. But I don't know. I hear people saying that battle passes ruin like games, and I get what they're trying to say,
For me, a little bit. Like
but
I
Yeah,
played a lot more
somewhat.
multiplayer. I played a lot more multiplayer back in the day when there weren't battle passes, and as soon as battle passes started to become a thing, I lost interest. So for me, yeah, it's kind of ruined the multiplayer scene. But
I would
I'm
I I would say the concept of Battle Pass was actually a good idea in my opinion. It's just they've been using it very greedy. But
yeah,
then the reason why it doesn't work, and I say it also ruined it, is because there are a lot of other companies that are basically just like, hey, we want money, we need more of that shit, so let's add bunch of battle passes, and it's gotten monotonous without trying to change anything about it. Not trying to change the problems that battle passes have.
like
I mean, I understand why, because they have to pay for servers, but at the same
yeah,
time, a lot of games had a single player to go with their multiplayer. So like a lot of companies now, they're just making multiplayer experiences, but skipping out on single player altogether. Which I mean, I'm fine with as long as there's single player stuff to play. I think it wouldn't matter to me.
yeah. I don't think they're inherently bad. It's how they use them. Cause like 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 Diz, explain like try to explain the definition of a battle pass.
A battle pass is a system where you basically unlock cosmetics or sometimes characters in a certain game, and you have to basically do a certain amount of milestones to get yeah, to get said things.
So basically, playing the
I
game,
I,
which you're already gonna do.
I kind of see it
Yeah,
as
pretty
like
much.
I think it's like a subscription service that gives you bonus items for playing the game,
It's not a
right?
subscription.
It
Well,
is not a
most
subscription service whatsoever.
yeah, well, I think
Hell no.
most
They have
games you
they
don't have to
like
pay
I
for
mean
it.
they have I mean it's an optional subscription service is the way I see it, right? Because like a lot of these battle passes, they're like monthly or like yes, it's like a monthly thing, right? You pay every month for access to the battle pass, right? So you're essentially subscribing every month to get bonus items for just playing the game that you already like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll see it more as like DLC though, but I see what you're saying.
I mean, I think DLC is just like expansions. Like that's what I saw. That's how I personally
But
see
the process
DLC.
of getting it is the same though. You're just paying money.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so. But like one you can use offline. One is like always online. You know, for me, whether or not the content is accessible without internet is more important to me. Like like last year, for example, like the power went out in my house, and I had the Steam Deck at that time. I played the Steam Deck for a couple hours offline, no problems, right? That's something I value personally, like the ability to not be required to be online constantly to enjoy content.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But I mean, I do understand a lot of people have internet nowadays that's decent enough to like to do this. So I mean, for me, like I understand why people like it. I mean, I'm not in, I'm not the target demographic for that kind of content. So like I'm just kind of chilling, enjoying what I like.
Yeah,
I do understand. Like I think it's somewhat necessary for like games that do require online to play. Like if you're playing a game with a server,
no.
the server's gonna have to get paid for somehow. So
Oh, it is. What you doing there, buddy? All right. Well, this just had a stroke.
yeah, this is dead.
But
Oh, this is back. What happened is,
I just turned off my mic because my dogs were barking.
Oh yeah, tell those
oh
dogs to shut the fuck up.
yeah, tell them they're getting put outside if they don't stop.
I would love to if they would not stop fucking barking over the littlest fucking things. And the fact that my
Them,
fucking sister won't do anything to shut them up, so I can't fucking do anything.
why can't you shut them up?
Those are not my fucking dogs.
Oh, okay. You can't like go like ask them or like beat them or something. You know,
What the fuck?
Yeah, I
like
would love to beat them, but I'm not fucking insane.
it's never too late, Diz.
Beat them. But all right, we're getting off topic here. Well, I mean, we kind of hopped off the topic, but Rico, didn't you like have something to say about Sony or layoffs or something?
Oh yeah, like Sony is laying off like 900 employees. EA is laying off a couple people.
Everybody's laying off
I don't know.
people.
Yeah, everybody in the industry is laying people off. Yeah, so like some people think that like that's going to cause a crash like it did in 1980, the video game crash then. So like, yeah, what do you guys think? You think the video game industry is getting on a crash?
Okay,
I
well,
don't think it's going to crash.
before me and Diz give our opinions on it, to for further what's the word intel, I guess, for further perspective, in the month of January there have been more layoffs than the entire year of 2023.
Just in general, right?
Yeah, in the month of January
Yeah.
2024 there's been more layoffs than the entirety of 2023.
I think it's just a side effect of the pandemic. A lot of people overhired a bit during the pandemic for like
Yeah,
online work, and that is starting to come to an end. And companies are realizing that it's not sustainable to have all these employees. So I think things are just coming back to normal in terms of like the employment rate and stuff.
yeah, probably. I mean, they could have, you
But
know.
also, I think also AI is having a significant impact too because they're thinking, um, why have all these employees when you can use AI in some locations and replace them, which is not the best, but
I
You
I
mean,
sound
think
like
AI
it
is
is. Mr.
The AI
AI
is
guy.
the AI is getting better. All right, like if the AI can compete on a human level, any company that's not utilizing it, it wouldn't be doing the best financially. I mean, that's the unfortunate reality. Like, if an AI can do the same job as a person, they're not
Yeah,
the
and
AI
because of
has
that
no
AI,
money.
we're losing our jobs. Ever thought of that?
I mean, yeah, but eventually it's going to come to a point where they're gonna a solution is going to have to be found for that. Like, if 90% of the population isn't working, that's not going to be good for the economy. Somewhat they're going to have to find. Like, I don't know. I don't. Some people have proposed a universal income. Um, some they're gonna have to figure something out. Like, because companies are
People,
going to use the AI. You know, uh, and people are going to still need money. So it's going to be one of those issues that we're going to have to figure out in the future.
so look,
Um,
for example, let's
I
name some jobs that people are gonna lose. They're gonna lose programming. They're gonna lose,
yeah, writing like stories.
yeah, that
Yay.
We're probably going to
freelance. That's
companies are
actually
probably
kind
going to
of
get rid of the
sucks because I
AI.
feel like freelance writing is one of one of the most used secondhand sources of income. So that's really gonna suck. Um,
Great.
Journalism probably will disappear as well because
yeah.
you
Good.
can have AI write an article.
Um,
Actually, not good.
Um, what else? Movies, like voice actors are going to lose their job. It's really impacting the creative sector a lot more than like the manual labor sector. Like, I
yeah.
think in a few years, if AI is going to take over, like people are speculating it's going to, the only jobs that are going to be left are manual labor jobs, like working in a factory or like farming,
So yeah,
stuff that
we're
requires.
entering a dystopian world now, are we?
Yes.
Hey, I guess I don't know. Some people now these are the most jaded people I've heard are saying like, well, AI, if art is so easy to be mimicked by AI, then maybe the jobs that really mattered all along were like the manual labor jobs. Like those are the jobs that are actually important.
No.
I don't know. That's I mean, art is this going to be a hot take from me, but like art at the end of the day is not essential for survival, right?
Well, duh.
And I mean, at the end of the day, what really matters is like in a way they're kind of right. Like, how much food are we producing? Like, people getting like medicine and like products that like require physical labor. Like that stuff is really running the world at this point. And I don't know. I feel like this is just the natural uh endpoint of like art. Like computers are just learning how to maximize on making it.
Uh, I guess, but
An ideal scenario would be like, yeah, the AI are like taking over, but the AI will be used as an assistant, right? Like your job was that's what I think the goal initially was, is to make AI a companion to make your jobs easier. But um, I don't know. The way it seems like it's going, it's just going to be able to completely replace a lot of people.
teachers might be another job that's lost, honestly.
I now my mother is a teacher, right? And from experience from like her and what she's done, and I've done I haven't taught, but I've worked with children in a previous job. Children have to, like, for them to learn, which is the primary goal of a teacher. The children are going to have to want to learn, and I doubt the AI is going to like write people up for like misbehaving and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I've seen some really bad children, and I don't think any AI is going to like change that problem, right? Like you kind of need a human physically present to like make sure children aren't doing stuff that they're not supposed to. Like, I've had children attempt to leave the school, like they would like jump the fence and run away. AI is not going to
Yeah, that's
come
true,
replace
but
them. Like,
you got to think. What about homeschool, Rico? What about that? If everybody just becomes
yeah,
homeschool,
but like, I don't know. It doesn't seem practical because, and unless everybody's losing their jobs, right, and they're not going to be going to work anymore, they're not going to be able to stay home to like look at after the children, right? They're going to be at work somewhere, whether it's going to be like at a office or like a factory or Amazon, right? Like these children aren't going to be like the AI isn't advanced enough to like babysit the children and teach them, right? So like homeschooling doesn't seem like a viable option for everybody, especially right now. So
I mean, you
I
said
think humans are probably going to maybe AI will replace um 90% of teaching, right? Like there's still going to be like a human administrator, right? And you go to the school and you just like sit in front of a computer and learn stuff from an AI, and like there's like one teacher there to like monitor students to make sure they're not like fighting or doing something stupid, right?
well, actually, you
I see that
missed the
happening.
you missed the biggest point why AI will probably not replace teachers in normal school in general, and that is human interaction. The kids need human interaction with other people. If everyone was
Yeah.
homeschooled, oh my god, that would be a
I, I,
nightmare.
I don't. I think homeschooling is still beneficial to certain children if the homeschooling like parents do it properly. Like yes, they learn stuff at home, but like they still participate in in stuff outside of home, right? Like you can homeschool them and like still let them participate in like games and stuff. Like when I was in school, right, I knew a guy that was homeschooled, but they would still come to like events. Like they would come to like games and stuff. Like I was in the band, a band, right, and they were able to participate in a band with us. So like as long as the children has the interaction somewhere, it doesn't just have to be like in education. But
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know,
I definitely agree with you.
because like I don't know, that seems like very small interactions into it, like in comparison to the amount of interaction you'll get at school. That doesn't necessarily mean you'll know how to talk to people, approach people, speak to people, deal with like deal with
I
people,
mean,
how they act.
I, I think I think it just depends. Like you could still homeschool them and then send them to like a summer camp, like do stuff and like have them go like they learn in the day just like a regular kid would, and then they go outside like after school and like communicate. I think it also depends greatly on the child's demeanor and personality, right? I think some personalities greatly could benefit from like homeschooling and some wouldn't, right? It's very dependent. I think it's something that parents would have to like decide themselves, you know?
But you gotta think about how many parents are gonna be willing to do all that stuff, rather rather than just taking them to school and boom, you're done.
I mean, there's been people in society that have been homeschooled and they have been very successful, you know,
But then you
in their
also have to
lives.
think how many people like you gotta also think out of all the people who are homeschooled, what is like a good thing you have to factor into that? And it's like it's money. Like let's be honest, most people who are homeschooled, their family kind of probably has like a more significant amount of money than your average family. That's me.
Yeah.
What?
Like I said, I don't think it's financially viable, but I think if you are in a situation where you could afford to homeschool someone, I feel like it would be better because they could get a more catered like experience. Like they could focus more on like what they want to do, right? Whereas the school
But how are they gonna
system
learn what they
is
want to
more
do?
general. You just make them study it. Like you teach them. Like a parent would obviously have to like teach them the basics, right? But like I feel like if it's done correctly, you could have somebody um, perform a lot better at homeschool because like if a parent is teaching a student that and they really are teaching them like properly, right? They're gonna know what like they're weak at, what they're doing good at, better than probably any teacher that has to deal with like a bunch of children, right? Like it's very
But
personalized.
you get that
Like
hands on in school. Like later in high school, you get options too. Like a lot of stuff, you get options. I did woodworking. There's art classes.
I,
There's culinary classes.
it depends on the school, man.
There's
Like
programming.
I I've been to schools where like they had nothing. All right, I think it greatly depends.
And now you can also, like, I'm in a career school right now. Your school right now doesn't have that, you can just go to transfer to a career school. If it's, I mean, if they're accepting you, if you're partnered with it, if your school is partnered with that career school. But
Well,
yeah, I went to a career school. A lot of shit
hey,
you can.
all I'm saying is there are pros and cons to both approaches. But I agree. Like if you're homeschooling somebody, you're probably gonna have the money to do it. If you're doing it right, you're gonna have some cash. Like you're probably gonna be loaded with money.
Yeah, and it also goes to the factor of, like, a lot of kids who are homeschooled probably want to go to a normal school at some point in their life, and I've witnessed
Fine.
two people who shut up this. I witnessed two people who transferred from uh homeschool to normal school, and both of them had to get held back because they didn't know what the fuck to do.
I mean, I've seen people who've been homeschooled like that. I know that have done pretty well. I think
What
it
grade
just
was this,
depends.
Rico? What grade was this?
I was in high school. Like I know a guy.
Okay.
His name was Paul. Yeah, and he was a black dude. He was
Uh,
homeschooled,
a black
and
guy
and then
named
he went
Paul.
to
I don't believe you, Rico. What black guy's named Paul?
bro. Like I'm serious. No, like dude, there was like he was like on the drum line with me. He was homeschooled, and then because like what he would do, right, is he would be homeschooled in the day, and he'd come after school to like a school to like do after school activities, and he was fine. Like after we graduated, or yeah, he went to like a technical college, and like he was fine.
Oh, see, yeah, I'm at career school. You know, we have a
Dude
thing
runs
where we can.
a
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
dude is running a barber shop right now. Seriously.
Typical black person.
Yeah. His full. I guess. Wait. Yeah. I know. I was about to say his full name to add credibility to my argument, but I realized we're like on a podcast and someone could dox him.
Yeah,
Like,
like this.
you know, yeah, like you homeschooled, um, something racist. I don't know, and come to his barbershop and harass him.
Yeah, then Diz, were you ever homeschooled?
Yep. I fucking hated it.
And there it is.
Oh well, I mean, I guess we got direct evidence, so you didn't think it was beneficial at all.
Yeah, not really. I just wasn't saying because I was stuck in my room all day.
And there it is.
Didn't study anything.
I did. I forgot about it all, but I did.
That's normal school, anyways.
Yeah, bro. I still like because I'm still in school. Like I'll study for a test. Remember all this stuff. The next day, I couldn't tell you a single thing about it.
Yeah, that's why school is. No, you know why school is stupid, bro? School is stupid because they make you take a test, and to order to pass that test, you have to be your knowledge of that specific thing has to be at least 70% equal to the teacher who's been studying this stuff for 10 plus years. I think that's pretty stupid.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the education system in general has to like change. Like I think it's testing somebody like how smart they are based off of like exams and stuff, it's not necessarily effective because like yeah, maybe they're not smart when it comes to like memorizing these specific details on a paper, right?
Yeah, like how to
Like
calculate
the
when a body like died, you know, like that for example.
yeah, like what like unless you're a detective or a cop or whatever, you're not going to like need to know this information. Like and making people learn that is kind of dumb. Like people should be focused on stuff that they want to learn or do.
Yeah, and the government just it isn't it's built to not let us succeed. They just want us to become robots.
You know, that's what I think. A lot of the school had kind of originated as. I was watching a documentary a while back, and they're like schools were kind of invented because in the industrial era they wanted to teach more people how to like better be suited for factory work, basically being bots. You know, so you're not wrong on that. I don't think.
Yep. School is so sort of it's retarded, you know. It's lame.
And like, I've went to like job fairs at my school, right? And like everybody who's
Huh?
hiring, they don't care that you're going to school. They like what actual experience do you have like with the tech and working with stuff. So it's just like at the end of the day, the schooling aspect doesn't really matter. It really matters is are you experienced enough to like actually do the work we are asking you to do. That's kind of annoying, but you know.
Yeah, it's but you also gotta kind of put blame on the hires and the companies, because let's be honest, if you went to college, someone who went to college versus someone who uh like if both are experienced in that specific thing, like even if like someone who didn't go to college was more experienced than someone who did go to college, like be honest, which one are they hiring?
The college degree, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, it's
I mean, I don't know. I
bro.
can only hope that like eventually things get better. Like they'll,
Nope.
I don't know.
It
No,
is not.
bro.
I think maybe this is a small possibility. Like especially with the AI stuff, right? Like AI is really when computers are competing with humans, right? Something's going to have to change in order to be self-sustainable as like society of people, right? Like AI is going to affect the balance of the economy because if it's replacing people who are working, right? That's a flow of money that's going to disappear. And while like these companies and stuff might not care about the people losing the money, they're going to care when like they don't have money to buy their products because like they have no job, right? And you know, like
Well,
if we end up in a dystopia where like companies are ruining everything and they're using AI for everything, what's like there's gonna be some way that like the economy has to still function, right? And if people
yeah.
don't have the means to function in an economy, it's going to trickle down eventually to like the companies where they're going to see a loss of profit. So
I mean,
but
what to say, bro? Oh
maybe that's
yeah.
the optimistic side. Maybe everybody will just die and all of the billionaires are be the last ones alive.
Well, I mean, my I think my state, like they recently like did a thing where um ACTs aren't next school year ACTs aren't gonna be required for graduation unless you want to go to college. So I guess that's kind of a step forward.
Well, my school, the way they did it is you could fail the SATs, but in order to go to college, you have to go to like a community college for 2 years.
Yeah,
That's what I did. I failed the SATs and I went to community college.
yeah. I
Now
purposely
I'm at
failed
a
my
big boy
SAT.
college, and man, the community college was way easier.
Bro. Like yeah, the ACT, bro. They were trolling on that shit, bro. Yeah, but I honestly think we need to rename the podcast because like half of it we were talking about games and then we just talked about life.
This one was a lot
Well,
more
I mean,
serious than the last one.
hey, I guess the RNG can stand for depending on what topics we talk about then.
Oh, yo, that's kind of clean.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, Diz, you can be the host now.
Fuck no.
The host.
Dang, bro, that's not just games, but damn, we talk about everything. That's kind of clean.
Yeah. Completely up the chance.
I'm gonna have to update the description.
Yeah.
Oh, I still feel like we kind of need that demographic though. It can't just be for everything because
Yeah.
people are not gonna know.
I mean,
What,
a lot of gaming channels do like have a variety of topics. Like I know some ordinary gamers, right? He's a primarily gaming channel, but like he'll talk about like tech and like politics every once in a while too. So like I don't think it matters. We can still be RNG.
yeah. Um. Is that it? Is that it? Did we finish everything?
I think so. Like right now I'm just playing Power World and good news, I captured a merchant.
Oh,
So now we can buy medicine at our base for our pals.
sorry.
Wait, what do
Okay,
you mean
never
by
mind.
ending this?
Hmm? Oh, the podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, we're on a fucking podcast.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you didn't
Okay,
know?
bro.
No.
God. So Diz, you could have said something crazy, and we could have been. Oh my
Bro.
god, bro.
Will you stop trying to fucking cancel me?
Oh my. Oh, you know what? I think this is a good spot to end it.
Yeah.
Apparently Diz didn't
Thank you
know.
for watching.
This is yeah. Thanks. Thank
Thank
you,
you all.
Diz.
Thank you all, I guess.
Yeah.
I did not even know I was here.
Diz didn't cancel us this time, so guess we'll keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah. We'll be back next week.